There is a quiet thief that can enter our lives after the age of 60. It doesn't announce itself with a loud alarm or a sudden pain. It moves silently in the background of our days, making our very foundation, our bones, a little more fragile, a little more porous year by year. This subtle change can plant a seed of hesitation in our minds, a new fear of a simple fall, a reluctance to lift a heavy grandchild, a feeling that our own body is becoming a stranger. But what if I told you that one of the most powerful shields against this silent thief isn't in a pharmacy, but is likely sitting in your pantry right now, misunderstood and waiting to be seen for its true strength? Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and for over 15 years, I've had the privilege of sitting with women just like you, listening to their stories and helping them navigate the changes in their bodies with clarity and compassion. This space is for us. It's a place for real conversations about our health, our vitality, and our futures. If that sounds like a community you'd like to be a part of, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. And I truly love knowing where this community of strong women comes together. Tell me in the comments below, where are you watching from today? It's wonderful to connect with you. Today we're going to talk about something incredibly important, our bone health. And we're going to do it by uncovering the remarkable secret of a very humble fruit. I want you to think about the word prune. For most of us, one thing comes to mind immediately: digestion. And while prunes are certainly wonderful for keeping us regular, that reputation has overshadowed a far more profound, scientifically backed benefit that is critically important for every single woman watching this video. Recent clinical studies have revealed something astonishing. Eating just 5 to 6 prunes a day can significantly help prevent bone loss, and in some cases, even help reverse its early stages. This isn't about digestion. This is about strength. This is about independence. This is about protecting the very frame that carries you through your beautiful life. Let's start by understanding the challenge we're facing. I remember a patient of mine, a lovely woman named Carol. Carol was a passionate gardener in her late 60s. Her garden was her sanctuary. But she came to me one day with a concern that wasn't about a specific ache or pain. It was a feeling. She told me, "Emily, when I bend down to pull a weed now, there's a little voice in my head that wasn't there 5 years ago. It says, 'Be careful. Don't twist the wrong way. What if you fall?'" That voice is the echo of a deep-seated, valid fear. The fear of a fracture. The fear of losing the mobility and freedom she cherished. Carol's story is the story of so many women. We don't just fear the break itself. We fear what it represents: a loss of independence, a reliance on others, a shrinking of our world. So what is happening inside our bodies to create this vulnerability? The science is actually quite straightforward and beautiful. Think of your bones as a bustling city, constantly being remodeled. You have 2 main types of workers: the construction crew, called osteoblasts, who build new bone, and the demolition crew, called osteoclasts, who clear away old bone. Throughout our younger years, these 2 crews work in perfect harmony. But after menopause, when our estrogen levels decline, something shifts. Estrogen acts like a gentle supervisor, keeping the demolition crew in check. Without as much estrogen, the demolition crew, the osteoclasts, start working overtime. They begin to remove old bone faster than the construction crew can replace it. Over time, this imbalance is what leads to osteopenia, the precursor to osteoporosis. Our bone city starts to have more empty lots than new buildings, making the entire structure weaker. This is where the story takes a hopeful turn. For years, we've been told to focus on calcium and vitamin D, and they are absolutely essential. They are the bricks and mortar for our bone city. But what if we could also hire a new supervisor to gently calm down that overzealous demolition crew? This brings us to the humble prune. I had another patient, Margaret, who felt completely overwhelmed. She had a shelf full of supplements: calcium, magnesium, vitamin K2, vitamin D, and she felt like a chemist every morning trying to remember what to take and when. She told me with a sigh, I just want something simple, something real, something I can eat. Margaret's desire for simplicity is what makes this research so exciting. Scientists were curious about prunes because they are packed with a unique combination of vitamins and minerals, like vitamin K, potassium, and boron, which are all known to be good for bones. But they suspected there was something more. And they were right. The real magic appears to lie in their rich concentration of compounds called polyphenol. These polyphenols act as powerful antioxidants and anti-inflammatory agents throughout the body. But in our bones, they do something remarkable. They send a signal to those overactive osteoclasts, the demolition crew, to slow down. They essentially turn down the volume on bone breakdown. At the same time, they seem to encourage the osteoblasts, our precious construction crew, to keep up their good work. A groundbreaking study from Pennsylvania State University confirmed this. They took postmenopausal women with low bone density and had one group eat 50 grams of prunes, which is about 5 or 6 prunes, every day for a year. The results were astounding. The women who ate the prunes preserved their bone mineral density in their hip, a common site for dangerous fractures. They showed significantly lower signs of bone breakdown compared to the group that didn't eat prunes. They weren't just slowing the loss. They were actively protecting their bones with food. When I explained this to Margaret, I could see the relief wash over her face. This wasn't another pill. This was a handful of sweet, chewy fruit. It was simple, it was natural, and it was backed by serious science. It was an action she could take every single day that felt like nurturing herself, not medicating herself. She was taking back a piece of control, and that feeling is immeasurably powerful. Now you might be thinking, that's wonderful, Dr. Emily, but what does this really feel like in my life? The benefits of this simple habit ripple outwards, touching more than just your bones. Let me tell you about Sandra. She started her 5 prune-a-day ritual diligently after we discussed the bone research. About 3 months later, she came in for a checkup and she was glowing. She said, "You know, I started this for my bones for the long term, but I'm noticing other things. My energy feels more stable in the afternoon. And yes," she said with a little laugh, "my digestion is better than ever. But more than that, I just feel more resilient. Like I'm actively doing something good for my whole body." Sandra was exactly right. The benefits of prunes create a beautiful synergy. The polyphenol that protect our bones also help reduce chronic inflammation in the body. Chronic inflammation is a root cause of so many age-related issues, from achy joints to fatigue. By calming inflammation, you're supporting your entire system. And let's not forget the fiber. The soluble and insoluble fiber in prunes does more than promote regularity. It feeds the good bacteria in your gut. A healthy gut microbiome is linked to everything from a stronger immune system to a more stable mood. So this one simple habit is supporting your frame, calming inflammation, and nurturing your gut, which in turn supports your mind and spirit. It's a perfect example of how one small, consistent act of self-care can create waves of wellness throughout your entire being. The final piece of this puzzle is making this a joyful ritual, not a daily chore. The key to any lasting health habit is to find a way to weave it into your life with pleasure. Forcing yourself to do something you dislike is never sustainable. So, how can we make this a delightful part of the day? Think beyond just eating them straight from the bag. Although that's perfectly fine. You can chop 2 or 3 into your morning oatmeal or yogurt. They add a wonderful, caramel-like sweetness. You can blend 1 or 2 into a smoothie. They act as a natural sweetener and add a boost of fiber. One of my favorite ways is as a mid-afternoon snack, pairing 3 prunes with a small handful of walnuts or almonds, or a slice of sharp cheddar cheese. The combination of sweet and savory is deeply satisfying. You can even gently stew them with a little water and a cinnamon stick, and serve them warm. A truly comforting treat on a cool evening. The goal is to find what works for you, to turn this small act into a mindful moment of nourishment. A moment where you can pause and say, "I am giving my body what it needs to be strong." I am investing in my future. So we've journeyed from a place of quiet fear to a place of empowered action. We've seen that the silent thief of bone loss doesn't have to have the final say. Your body has an incredible, innate capacity for healing and resilience. It is not fragile. It is wise, and it responds beautifully to the nourishment and care you provide. The power to protect your future independence, to keep gardening, to lift your grandchildren, to walk with confidence, that power is already within you. It's in the choices you make every single day. Adding 5 prunes to your plate is more than a dietary change. It is a declaration. It's a promise you make to yourself to remain strong, vital, and engaged with the life you love. You are the steward of your own well-being, and you are doing a wonderful job. I would love to hear from you. In the spirit of taking small, powerful steps, share one thing in the comments that you are doing this week to honor your health. It doesn't have to be about prunes. Your story, your simple act, could be the very spark of inspiration another woman in our community needs to see today. Thank you for spending this time with me. Until next time, be well and be so kind to yourself.